This is Radio Taiwan International.
Welcome to the news on Radio Taiwan International. I'm Hannah Belinsky coming to you from Taipei, Taiwan. We begin with a look at today's top stories for Friday, September 19th. Taiwan signs deal with the U.S. to co-develop air defense command system. Intel confirms TSMC will remain key partner despite NVIDIA collaboration. And Tropical Storm Ragasa likely to affect Taiwan as typhoon early next week. But first, today's top story. The National Chengsan Institute of Science and Technology on Thursday signed a cooperation agreement with U.S. defense firm Northrop Grumman to better integrate Taiwan's air defense weapons. Taiwan's current missile inventory is a mix of domestically produced and U.S.-made systems, each with its own radar vehicles and command and control suites. Under the new MOU, NCSIST and Northrop Grumman will jointly develop an integrated battle command system, or IBCS, to connect both existing and future assets. Built on an open and scalable network architecture, the system will link all signals to provide real-time, accurate, and comprehensive battlefield intelligence and command capabilities. NCSIST's Sky Bow Air Defense Weapons System Development Head, Kang Bo-zheng, said Northrop Grumman's proven technology will complement NCSIST's own domestic battle management systems. Combined, the two will effectively enhance the country's current air defense command and control and missile defense capabilities, he said.
Since Northrop Grumman has been developing U.S.-made systems for some time and have achieved considerable results, we are taking this opportunity to evaluate both sides' development experience in this area so that we can move toward a mutually beneficial and growing direction.
Northrop Grumman Vice President Jeremy Knupp said the company will deliver a modular core system, the heart of IBCS, capable of integrating data from any type of sensor to create a system tailored for Taiwan. Delivery is expected within 21 months once follow-on contracts are finalized. NVIDIA has announced a $5 billion investment in Intel. CEO Jensen Huang said the partnership could generate as much as $50 billion in annual business opportunities. The companies will co-develop multiple generations of customized products for data centers and personal computers. For data centers, Intel will design x86-based central processors tailored for NVIDIA. As for the PC segment, Intel will produce system-on-chips that integrate NVIDIA's graphics processors with its own CPU technology. Huang and Intel CEO Lip-Bu Tan held a joint virtual press conference Thursday. Asked whether the Trump administration was involved, Huang said it was not, but noted that he had informed U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick earlier in the day. Huang said Lutnick was very excited and strongly supportive of the collaboration between the two U.S. tech companies. Pressed about Intel's foundry progress, the possibility of providing contract manufacturing for NVIDIA, and whether the deal would affect its ties with TSMC, Tan said only that Intel would continue improving yields and performance. He stressed that TSMC remains a key partner and that cooperation will continue. According to the Wall Street Journal, those familiar with the matter said wafer production for the CPUs will still be handled primarily by TSMC before being sent to Intel's foundry for packaging. 3 tropical storms are currently circling the country. The Central Weather Administration warns that of the 3, Tropical Storm Ragasa poses the greatest risk to Taiwan and could form into a typhoon sometime early next week. Meteorologists have closely watched this year's number 17, 18, and 19 storms, tropical storms Mitag, Ragasa, and Neoguri, respectively, over the last week. While all are in the general vicinity of Taiwan, Neoguri remains far enough away from both Taiwan and Japan to not yet cause any major problems. Tropical storm Mitag is moving away from the island and is expected to weaken after moving along the Guangdong coast. Rain and thunderstorms from Mitag's outer systems may still have an effect on Taiwan's Hengchun Peninsula, ranging from brief showers to short-term heavy rains. Tropical storm Ragasa, however, is projected to strengthen into a moderate typhoon before passing through the Bashi Channel as it moves west-northwest. CWA Forecast Center Director Lin Bo-dong says Ragasa could even intensify into the upper limit of a moderate typhoon as it slows and approaches Taiwan, which would also increase the size of the storm. It is at this heightened intensity that Ragasa would likely pass through the Bashi Channel. Lin says that although it is unlikely to make landfall, these factors mean it will still have a significant impact. Ragasa is projected to pass closest to Taiwan Monday evening through early Wednesday, with heavy or torrential rains affecting eastern and southeastern Taiwan, especially in the Hengchun Peninsula. Taiwan could start feeling the effects of the outer system as early as Monday. United States President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping are expected to hold a phone call Friday at 9 p.m. Beijing time. Topics are currently predicted to center on pending trade deals, with experts speculating whether or not Taiwan will be discussed. Citing a U.S. official, the U.S. publication Bloomberg predicted topics of conversation to include the pending TikTok deal, Boeing aircraft, rare earth magnets, and Taiwan. U.S. Representative John Moolenaar told CNA that while he hadn't seen a formal discussion agenda, the fact that the two leaders were speaking should be viewed positively. Moolenaar, who heads the House Select Committee on China, spoke at length about the potential TikTok deal, which has been cited as a national security threat in America and by Moolenaar himself. However, Moolenaar underscored that the phone call should be seen as only a formality to facilitate further talks on policy and security. As for whether the two were likely to discuss Taiwan, Moolenaar said that he had no further information in this regard. He said the issue was undoubtedly important to both the president and the American people. Ahead of National Disaster Prevention Day this coming Sunday, schools and kindergartens across Taiwan conducted three-step earthquake drills at 9:21 a.m. on Friday. President Lai Ching-te visited National Lan-Yang Girls Senior High School to observe and speak about the importance of regular drills. The Central Weather Administration issued a simulated earthquake drill alert Friday morning. Schools throughout the country initiated disaster preparedness drills, including the drop, cover, and hold on protocol for protecting oneself during an earthquake. After observing the drill at National Lan-Yang Girls Senior High School, the president spoke to the student body about the devastating 1999 earthquake that struck central Taiwan. September 21st, the day the disaster occurred, was thereafter designated National Disaster Prevention Day. Lai commended the school for conducting such a comprehensive and realistic drill and urged the public to review the link to Taiwan's national safety guidelines, which was issued alongside the earthquake drill alert.
If there is an earthquake and school buildings, for example, are damaged, the country must quickly rebuild them. Ensuring that any damage to the country's infrastructure is quickly addressed and does not interfere with people's lives is an important part of disaster resilience.
To combat wastewater pollution caused by fiber dyeing, Taiwan's Rorica textile company has developed a mass-producible supercritical fluid dyeing process that reduces energy and water consumption. The technology was recently showcased at TexWorld Paris, one of the largest fashion events in France. The 57th TexWorld Apparel Sourcing event took place in Paris earlier this week. This year's exhibition attracted more than 1,300 companies from 35 countries, with Taiwan among the top 5 suppliers. The artistic director of TexWorld's Fall-Winter trend book, Nova Fabula, predicted that in the coming years, humanity will pay closer attention to the relationship between environmental protection and the economy. TexWorld has also been promoting econogy in fashion in recent years, referring to sustainable practices. Rorica and 3 other Taiwanese textile companies were highlighted at the exhibition for their contributions to econogy. Rorica General Manager Charlene Xie explained that water pollution and excessive water use have long been pressing issues in the textile industry. Although wastewater recycling and other techniques have been used, results have been limited. Xie said the Economic Ministry has supported the industry in developing carbon reduction technologies such as SFD. She added that the technology has advanced to a point where it can be used to dye most fabrics, including leather. Last year, TexWorld attracted approximately 13,000 visitors, nearly 70% of whom were European buyers from France, the United Kingdom, and Italy. Thanks for joining me for the news. I'm Hannah Belinsky. Stay tuned for another 50 minutes of English language features brought to you by Radio Taiwan International.